yeah, thank you for everyone who's tuned in, you know, from social media and friends and whoever. Charles, I'm a gospel rapper. I've been doing it for a long time, since I was 10 years old. My brother told me to write some bars in church, and I was like, yeah, I did it. And since from then, it's just literally been a great journey. It's gone like 18 years now. And yeah, just been loving it. And I love writing bars, and I love writing bars for God. And making music is just literally what I love to do. So yeah, that's literally a small summary, synopsis of who I am.
And Resuscitated came out, was it last year?
Yeah, it came out, 2015, around November.
Oh, 15, okay, cool. Well, and last year you just obviously promoting that, so what's in the kicks for next year, or this year, 2017? Have you got anything lined up?
Yeah, I've got a lot of, talking to a lot of features for a new project coming up. I've got about individual releases coming out very soon as well. I'm actually working on those now, writing, recording, and so forth. So I've just got an EP coming up, and there's plenty more in the works because, you just get a bug to start writing, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, writing, producing, it just goes hand in hand. Sometimes we make beats and then there's no bars, and then sometimes we make bars and there's no beat, and then when it happens together, you're like, yeah, something's happening. So, yeah, the wars are being stirred.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Where you got it together, you gotta do something with it, haven't you, basically?
Yeah. It's kind of like saturated feeling as an artist that just sits in your hard drive. You're like, well, something needs to happen, and then all of a sudden you listen to it like 6 months to a year later, and it just doesn't connect the right way because you're going through something in your life or experiences, and it just doesn't seem to hit home. Some tracks are supposed to be written, produced, released. Some are supposed to be worked on. You know, just trying to get it right each time you go. Well, that's literally what Resuscitated is about. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, for like I was in church from like young, so literally born into church. I left in about 2005, backslid, went to do my own thing, pursue my own music career and whatnot. Did relatively well, you know, started to feature with a few artists, but got myself into like 2 big tours, and that really helped. You know, I went on tour with Acapellas, Tinted Strider, and I went on tour with Celestin as well. And that was kind of crazy because I saw a different side to the music world. I had a driving want to be successful now in music, but not in a right way. You know, I wanted everything. I wanted the girls, I wanted the sex, I wanted the drugs, I wanted the fame, I wanted the power. You know what I mean? I wanted all of that because I saw these guys and they lived it and whatnot. And then, you know, time went on, and, you know, so when I was going around, I actually ended up doing my own tour in Scotland, which was great. You know, I teamed up with the producers up there to try and release a track similar to like one called Chipmunk. Edward Dentist had a track coming out, and they wanted to kind of rival that. So me and this girl, we hooked up with this record label up in Scotland, and it kind of like started to go well. And all of a sudden, my life started to tumble because I'm heavily into drugs now. I'm taking in like a lot of marijuana, not just the normal dose. I'm talking about heavy dose where I was like, you know, all over the place, paranoid, was dumb. And I do believe with my spiritual past in terms of like knowing God before, when I smoked marijuana, I think different doors were open. So like things that were happening, I knew were actually happening because I knew it to be true, because I actually saw it when we used to have like deliverance sessions and whatnot. So crazy stuff was happening in my room. I was going all over the place. My thoughts were twisted, you know what I mean? I was treating my girlfriend very badly, man. You know, I wasn't abusive, but I was very mentally abusive and whatnot. And my life was just kind of like going to the pan. Even though I've been successful in my music, it was like everything else was being destroyed. And I tried to hold on to the fantasy of this music, like, yeah, I can make it, I can be successful, I can do it. And then I remember one time, my brother was in the kitchen talking to me, saying, look, man, he's going through some problems in his life, but he decided to turn to God in his problems. I'm trying to run away from him. And I looked at him and I thought to myself, you know what? I want that again. You know what I mean? I don't want 7 years deep, man. Like, I've built like a network of people around me who are like unbelievers, and don't like God, don't know about God and whatnot. And I'm like, how do I get out of this? I feel like I'm one piece of meatball strapped in a boat to get it. How do I get out of this, man? I'm stuck and whatnot. So 2 twos, you know, I mean, one time I was doing doors, I was sitting in my car and I was like, yeah, I've got to change my life, man. Like, this is wrong. But I didn't know how to. So I said, Lord, if this is real, like, you know, I don't have to pray. I like practice and whatnot.
Yeah, let's rewind a bit there, man. Like you said originally, like you went on a tour with JLS, but how did you get into music in the first place?
Oh, well, as I said, it started from my brother who got me into like rapping. So I learned how to write bars, the rhyming, how to rhyme properly, all about the synonyms and whatnot, how many should be in a bar and whatnot, and it's just flow as such on beats and whatnot. And I just practice from there. And the more I practice, the more the better I got. And back then we used to spit on beats like Queen Pen. I remember the Funk Song and whatnot. I remember all of them kind of beats, like in the church as well, like we're spinning on these beats. And it literally just kind of snowballed from there. I kept the craft up. And when I left church, kind of created my own kind of Persuado image. And it literally went on from there, and I started to collaborate with people, you know, but meeting people when I did the show, just chatting to people, literally. And I met one of my friends, and then we started up like a little mini record label. And as we set this up, we started to, you know, get in touch with more people through the label route. And then one of his friends was going on tour and doing whatnot, and he was like, look, I need someone to come out and help me out. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. So we jumped on the tour too, and literally it kind of, again, snowballed from there. We started getting people like managers involved, and we just got Ministry of Sound, Convict label as well, was interested from America, and it was like, whoa, what's going on? This is kind of like just going. Hype was building up in our own little way. So literally, it's just a snowball effect of contacts and talking to people and networking, and we found ourselves in that position of talking to different people and whatnot. And it was literally just being in the right place at the right time, strangely enough. There was nothing really that we specifically done other than, you know, constantly being at it and being in the right place at the right time. Then someone said, look, guys, I need you to do this. And I remember I was on stage doing the show, and I came off and went out to eat, and I'm sitting at a table with like the managing director of Warner Music, and all these people around me, and I'm like, whoa, this is literally as simple as check out my demo or whatnot. So I believe that something great could have come from that in terms of like my own personal success, but I guess, you know, it wasn't meant to be that way.
Yeah, man, I think, what you're saying there is like God had something on a platter for you originally, maybe it seemed, but maybe sin got in the way, or maybe even it just seemed like that was the right path to go down. Like that seemed like a big path, but actually now maybe because you've finally come back to Him, kind of thing. Maybe God's got something even bigger and better for you, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of like I'm just kind of like Psalms 91. You know what I mean? I'm just under His wing, but like I'm not. Either way, you know, whatever way He wants to take it, you know, I'm for it. You know, I know there's certain things I need to do in music to keep up, you know, a certain type of flow, but where it takes me is where it takes me, brother. You know what I mean? If I'm spitting from a boombox, brother, in the middle of Westfield, Stratford, brother, and that's what He wants me to do, then I'll do it. You know what I mean? Whichever it may be. You know, I've been from both extremes. I've done 12,000 stadiums to 5 guys in a pub. You know what I mean? So I've seen both extremes, and like I'm not really. But you can be touched in both places, you know what I mean? I've seen how people have been transformed in different areas. So yeah, wherever, man, I'm just enjoying this at the moment, you know. I'm just enjoying like just me and God just doing our thing, you know, not a whole bunch of sin and pride and all this other stuff that you face when you're doing it in the world and for the world, you know what I mean? That you struggle with. Really, I'm enjoying it so much more now. Yeah,
man, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, obviously, when you're on that sin mode, it can seem like, yo, this is all enjoyable, but it's not, is it? It's actually destroying your soul, man. Like, you're thinking, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It tastes good, but it's actually bad for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'll be a fool to say, like, sin's not attractive. It is attractive, man, but it's just like, it just destroys you, man. Bit by bit, it etches away at you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it's literally, like, I didn't really want to do music when I came my life. Like, rededicate my life back to God. I didn't want to do music anymore. I was like, I'm done with this thing. But I just kind of like found myself back into it again, and just kind of like drawn back, and it's like, this is what you're meant to do. This is what I called you from young, so this is what you're gonna do. It's like, it was like a Jonah kind of effect, like, you know, trying to escape, but found myself back facing the task ahead. So literally, I just started writing. Just started making music. Just started playing the piano, playing the keys, bits and beats. Like, wasn't 100% in what I was doing, but I learned different things. And I just literally got into the lab. In other words, just went into my zone, and I just started writing. And once it started, it just didn't stop. So song after song after different types of beats, and I was literally working on all of the songs at the same time. More or less, kind of like it was in one, out one, and so forth. Everything was influenced, and everything was around that same central theme of Christ resuscitating me back to life, kind of thing. So as Marksman, it was great for him to jump on there. Like, we've been doing music since, oh goodness me, I mean 2004. We've been doing music since from then. Like, so to actually have him back on again, I remember talking in a coffee shop one day, and was like, yeah, blah blah, I've got something for you to jump on. I was like, yeah, let's do this. And he jumped on it, and it was just great to have, like, you know, master back on the music again since we were doing it before. It was really good to have that. The Dean James is she was an artist who sings. Used to sing at a church I used to go to, and I love the voice. I love the attitude. I love the way she came across. I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, yeah, I was like, great. And I was kind of like hearing it as that. I was contacting people saying, I like your voice, I like your style, I like how you come across. Let's meet up. I've got this track for you. I've written a chorus. Could you sing it, or could you write something, whichever it may be? And it literally went from there. Got them to record, mixing the vocals down and whatnot. And it was a great, a full hands-on project. I think like literally all of the album and mixed and mastered it as well and whatnot. So yeah, I've learned a lot. You know, I've learned that I can improve. I've learned that, you know, certain parts of it where I'm like, ooh, I could have done that better, or you know, whatnot. But it's just really enjoyed it. The whole experience of it, man. It's just, yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, man. So you put Resuscitated together, and how long did it take you to make the whole thing?
About a year. It took about a year to make it. Yeah, about a year. I kept going back to it. I think that was fair. You know, I talked to you before offline about oversaturating your music and whatnot. And I've kind of like got oversaturated. I was like, oh man, I've left it there for too long. So I went back and I was like, I could change that, because I learned these things. I was like, that beat pattern could change, or those samples I can work on that. You know what I mean? So the lyrics was fine. I found the bars, but it's just the beat. It's like, nah, you can change. I can grow you here. So it was a growth issue I was going through in my life, you know, especially musically. I was like, I know how to do this better now. So should I settle for what I've got, or kind of reproduce it, or change a certain element of it? So it's about a year and a bit for it to be done. And then from there, I started to work on, you know, the artwork and so forth like that. And then just like let it get out there.
And obviously, obviously I've expressed how great it is, but like, what other things have you heard back from people that have listened to it?
I think it's done exactly what it's supposed to do in terms of. I think it's a very conscious piece of work. So people have responded in terms of it's life changing, in terms of like making them see things from a different perspective. It's been taken and given to parents, have taken it and given to their kids who had a very similar past to mine, born in church, but they're out there, you know, doing their drugs, or you know what I mean, whatever they do with girls or boys or whoever. They've given them a piece of music and saying, look, you know, I'm putting my hope in this to some degree to kind of like bring my kid back to the straight and narrow, because this is a similar situation he's in. So I find a lot of people have gone through what I've gone through, which is strange, because I'm like, well, I didn't think it would have been so widespread, but I think a lot of people have gone through that, being like in church and then something happens to them and then they're blessed, if I'm on this, I'm going to do my own thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's like this tug of war going on within them. It's like, I know the truth, but I want to live my own life and do my own thing. And then, you know, I think parents have seen that and seen, like, you know, it's what my kid's going through right now, and I hope this can help them and so forth. So I've seen, you know, that kind of feedback coming back from it, saying that it's really deep, it's really conscious, and it is a life-changing piece of work, you know.
Yeah, man.
Right type of parents, if you know what I mean.
So yeah, that sounds like it's hit the nail on the head then, basically, and I feel that from my point of view as well. Like, my personal life is a bit like that. I mean, not so much falling out of grace of God in the way of, I understand obviously still that Jesus is God and all that kind of stuff, and I'm down with it. It's just I've fallen away from the church a bit, and I know we spoke a long time ago on the phone, and we had a deep conversation on it. That's what it is, man. But I think a lot of people have the same thing. It's like they still know and love God, but they kind of fall out of the church, maybe because they have an issue within the church. Like there's something going on there, like in their sense, like hypocrisy, or they're seeing something that's not quite right, or it doesn't feel, or they don't really fit in, even though they're Christian. It's like they're still a misfit within the people that are supposed to be their brother and sister, you know? Yeah.
You know what? That's literally like, even now, I'm going through some stuff now in my own life. You know what I mean? That's what's it's causing me to write even more experiences. But I'll tell this truth, brother, yeah? We are the church. Do you know what I mean? Like, so whether we're in their building or not, we are the church. So it's the most important thing for any person that's listening, or is to keep your relationship with God tight, man. Make sure the word and prayer is there. Just find yourself in those quiet places. As Jesus said, go into a room, shut the door, man, and spend time with the Father. Read the word, find out who he is. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we find ourselves so synced with what's going on in church buildings and not realizing that, no, the Father lives in us. The Holy Spirit lives in us. Jesus gave his life for us, not a building. You know what I mean? So just kind of like hang tight to that. You know what I mean? Find yourself in there, man. Like it's people always let you down. They're humans. We're bound to fail, man. Fallen beings, but God won't let you down, you know what I mean? So just keep that relationship tight, man, and He'll bring you through. Like, don't give in to it. Don't give in to trusting man. And that's where the biggest problem comes. When we trust man, we trust the man who's preaching, or the woman who's preaching, or whoever. And just so much with everything, and then they strip from everyone. Do something, you're like, what? You start questioning your faith and questioning God. It's like, wait, this don't make no sense. But you told me to read other books, and the Bible's not the most important book. And you're like, what? What's going on here? Is this right? Is this truth? You're questioning God's word against their word, and that's when you're not in the right place. But when you know that His word stands, this is it. If He says it, He's done. You'll make it. You know what I mean? Like, and I find that's why I've been from since we resuscitated to now. That's been the fight. Every single thing is being fighting against God's word. It might be the pastor, it might be the leader, elder, deacon, whoever it may be, fighting against God's word. His truth is always against God's word. You know what I mean? So shut your door, man. Pray, read your Bible, spend time with the King, and He'll speak to you, man.